Hi, welcome to this video. My name is Mohammed Al-Tamimi. I'm the owner of 3dartistic.com. This video was created originally for 3dartistic.com. I'm going today to introduce LightWave interface. So let's begin. First of all, when you open LightWave, you are going to notice these menus in here. Those menus actually are called the main menu group. And when you go further to the right side, you are going to see those tabs. Those tabs actually are called the main menu, and this is the main menu group. So don't confuse between those two menus. This is the main menu, and this is the main menu group. When you furthermore go to the right side, you're going to see this drop-down list. This drop-down list actually is the objects in your modeler, open in your modeler currently right now. So in this instance, for instance, I have two objects opened. We have object unnamed and we have object unnamed 1. Object unnamed has no geometry, and object unnamed 1 has this box and several layers. When you go further to the right, you will see those arrows. Those arrows actually represent the banks, and you have the ability to use 99 banks in LightWave Modeler. And each bank contains almost 10 layers. When you go further more right, you'll see those boxes. Those boxes represent layers. Layers, for example, we have this box in this layer, and if you hold shift and go to the other layer and click the button side of the button section of the box, you're going to show the other layer in the background. This is very useful if you want to reference this layer to the background layer. When you go when you go further to the right side, you'll find this, and this actually will synchronize modeler to layout in LightWave. And remember, LightWave is separated into two programs. It's called one is called modeler, and the other is called layout. Modeler is used for modeling, texturing, stuff like that, and layout is used for staging, lighting, animation, and special effects, and stuff like that. Okay, when you go further down, you will see the viewports. You will have some options for the viewports. You will have the ability to choose what type of view you are going to use in this viewport. In this example, we are using the top. You could use anything. For example, the perspective. You could change it for the bottom, for the left, for the top, for anything you want. The UV viewport, anything you want. Let's go back to the top. And then when you go in here, you will find the type of drawing. For example, you can change the drawing type to wireframe, to wireframe color, to flat shade, to texture, to any kind of options we have in here. We'll go back to wireframe shade. And then when you go to this icon to the right, you will find this icon actually will give you the ability to pan the viewport. And then you will find this. This is not actually available in here because it's actually only available in 3D viewports. So in perspective, it does work. It will rotate the view. But in the top it will not work, and also in other 2D viewports. And when you go to this icon, you could actually zoom in and zoom out in the viewport. And this icon also will give you the ability to expand the viewport, so you could work in a bigger area of the viewport, so you could concentrate on one viewport at a time. Okay, so when you go actually downside in here, you will find this box will give you the position of the cursor in the 2D viewport, only the 2D viewport. It doesn't work actually with the perspective because it doesn't work in the 3D viewport, only with 2D viewport. And then you will find the selection statistics. This one will give you how many sub-objects you are selected. For example, we have selected 6 points in here, and it shows 6 points. Same goes for edges and polygons. And then you have this. This actually will give you information about the tool you are using currently. For example, let's go to create and hit the box. You can see that it gives you a hint about the tool. This is the box tool, this is the ball tool, this is the disk tool. When you go to modify, you'll find the move tool, you'll find the drag, stuff like that. And when you move, you will find other options. For example, drag to translate in the plane, and control to force on one axis. When you hit control, it goes in one axis. So this is very useful. It gives you information about the tool and several stuff like further options. And when you go to the right side, you'll find those buttons. Those buttons actually will let you create the stuff like the maps you have, weight map, texture map, morph map, color map, selection sets. We will get to these stuff later. And when you create those maps, you can actually choose between them in here. Okay, when you go down, you will find the point selection mode, the edge selection mode, the polygon selection mode, symmetry, and the action center. The action center is very important because when you move, rotate, stuff like that, you have to have a center of movement. For example, in this mode we are using the mouse action center, so we place the mouse in the place we want, and then we rotate, and the rotation will be action center will be on the mouse. If we change it to the selection center, whenever you put the mouse anywhere, the rotation would be in the center of the selection. And other options you have in here, origin and pivot. Also, you'll have the sub-D stuff like sub-D subdivision. We'll get to that later. We have the numeric panel. Also, we'll get to that later. Also, you have the make, surface, and stuff like statistics. Also, you have statistics panel, and you have the selection info panel. We will get to that later in other videos. You have the make button. It's very important. For example, if you want to create something like, let's say a ball, a disc, a ball, stuff like, let's create a disc. On the top view, we drag. Now, when you hit the numeric panel, you could actually change the sides of that cylinder, and then when you finished, you either hit enter or you click on make. This cylinder has now it's finalized, so this is the final cylinder. If you did not click make, actually it will go. So for example, when you go to the disk, create that disk, and you did not actually hit make, you simply, for example, hit other place or stuff like that. It will not be created until you hit enter or you hit spacebar or make, stuff like this. Okay. Finally, when let's discuss the tabs in here. The create tab is actually for creating primitives, text, points, polygons, curves. Almost it's for creating geometry. The modify tab is for manipulating the geometry. So in here you could move, drag, rotate, stretch, size, stuff like that. And in multiply you could add more geometry to the object, or you could duplicate the object, or you could, for example, subdivide. In construct tab, you could reduce the geometry, you could boolean the geometry, and you could actually patch some curves you have created. In details, you could unify normals if the normals are not on the same direction. You could add edges, you could dissolve edges, you could measure. You have measuring tools like angle. Here you have the angle. For For example, as you can see in here, the angle is displayed. It's 90 degrees almost. Okay. And when you go to the maps, to the map tab, you have tools for creating maps. The setup tab has tools for creating skeletons for animation of characters or any kind of objects that require bones. The utilities, actually in here you can use LScript or plugins to expand the program. And the selection tab will contain selection options, and the view tab will contain view options. Okay, that's it for the introduction of LightWave Modeler. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and please check the other videos. Thank you.